welcome to the News on Map World Series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in this episode we will be covering topics which are important from General Studies Paper 1, that is Geography Map section. So let's begin. First of all, we will be doing and solving the previous practice question, and that was, where are the Avdiivka, Kramatorsk and Zaporizhia regions often seen in the news located? So what is the location of these three regions? So that is Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Russia or Syria. So let's see. So if we will talk about the first location, that is Avdiivka. So all three locations are located in Ukraine, and Ukraine being in news because of the Russia-Ukraine war. So Russia-Ukraine war as of now is also going on, and it has been more than a year, or you can say it is almost 2 years that Russia-Ukraine war has been going on. And then if we talk about the first, that is the Avdiivka. So this is the map of Ukraine, and the first region that we find on the map is Avdiivka, and Avdiivka is located in Ukraine. So you can, if we talk about the map, then this is north, south, west and east. So this is east. So if this is Ukraine, then this can be considered as the East Ukraine. So Avdiivka is a region which is situated in East Ukraine, and it is in news because of the conflict that the Russian forces have claimed its position in Avdiivka. Then comes the second region, and that is Kramatorsk, and Kramatorsk is also situated in Ukraine. So if we will talk about the location, then this is about central Ukraine, and Kramatorsk is also situated on the eastern side of it. So this is the location of Kramatorsk. Then comes the third point, and that is the Zaporizhia, and the location of Zaporizhia, and Zaporizhia is also famous because it has a nuclear power plant also. So the location of Zaporizhia is, this is Ukraine, and this is the southeast Ukraine. So on the location of southeast Ukraine is the Zaporizhia region, or Zaporizhia nuclear power plant is also situated, and there is a river in which it is situated, and that is the Dnieper river. So the correct answer of this question becomes option A, that is Ukraine. Now coming on to the next question. So the reference for the first question is, recently Britain's foreign minister David Cameron says that Britain will not stop the sale of arms to Israel, and this brings Britain to the news. So the question talks about, consider the following statements, and there are two statements, and the question is asking about the correct statement. So first statement says that the United Kingdom is composed of England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. So let's see this. So if we will talk about the United Kingdom, so see, first there is England, then there is Britain, then there is United Kingdom, and there is British Islands or British Isles. So when we talk about England, then England is a separate country in itself. So this is England, separated from France by the English Channel. Then comes Britain. So Britain consists of England plus Wales plus Scotland. Then comes United Kingdom. So United Kingdom consists of Britain plus Northern Ireland. So that means Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland. And when we talk about British Islands, so British Islands composed of everything, that is Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland, Ireland and all the small islands of it. So it is talking about that the United Kingdom is composed of Scotland first, England second, Wales third and Northern Ireland fourth. So all these comes together and they become United Kingdom. So that is correct. So first is the correct statement, and then comes second, and that is the Windsor Framework So the Windsor Framework provides for the establishment of separate green and red lanes for trade between Northern Ireland and the European Union respectively. So let's see this. So if we will talk about, then United Kingdom came out of the Brexit, that is the European Union. So that is the Brexit. So this is whole of UK, and this is Northern Ireland, and this is Ireland. So what happened was that there was a concept of green lane and red lane, which came after the Brexit took place, and which is the Windsor Framework. So the goods are split into two different lanes. One was the green lane. So the upper one is the green lane, and it talks about that the goods which are destined for Northern Ireland, so the goods which will go into the Northern Ireland, they will go through the green lane. They will go through the green lane from UK to Northern Ireland. It means that they will not have to go through many tariffs and many checks. So they will require minimal paperwork to move from UK towards the Northern Ireland. While then this was about the green lane, then comes the second lane, and which is the red lane. So as the color itself is saying, green means that the signal is green, it means the things can go easily. While if we talk about red, so what is the meaning of the signal red? So it means things have to stop. So the goods which are destined for Ireland from the European Union, they go through the red lane, and the checks were carried out. So see, green lane, red lane. Red lane was for goods which went into Ireland from European Union, and it need checks and tariffs. And then there was green lane, and green lane was for North Ireland, and it did not require any checks and balances. Minimum paperwork would do things. So second statement also became correct. So it is asking about the correct statement. So the correct answer becomes option C, that is both 1 and 2. Now moving on to the next question. The reference talks about that the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant was attacked by drones amid the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. So the question talked about that consider the following pairs. On one side place is given, while on the other side nation is given. So the place were Bakhmut, that is Iran, then Bakhtiari, that is Ukraine, and Ankara, that is Turkey. So these three are the places, and these three are the nations. So Turkey is Ankara, Ukraine is Bakhtiari, and Iran is Bakhmut. So question is asking which of the above pairs is or are correctly matched. So which of the given pairs are correctly matched? That is only 1, only 3, only 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. So let's see. So if we will talk about the location of Bakhmut. So if we will look into the location of Bakhmut, so Bakhmut is situated in Ukraine, and it is situated in the side of the eastern Ukraine. So this is the location of Bakhmut, and it is a region in Ukraine. So first one becomes wrong. Second is Bakhtiari, and that is Ukraine. So let's see. So if we'll talk about the region of Bakhtiari, so Bakhtiari is a region in Iran. It is not a region in Ukraine. So this is the location of Bakhtiari in Iran, and this is the map of Iran overall, and the capital of Iran is Tehran, and Tehran is situated on the northern side of Iran, somewhere here, and this is the location of Bakhtiari, and this region is situated on the western side in Iran. So second also becomes wrong. Third is Ankara, Turkey. So if we will talk about Turkey or Turkey, so Turkey or Turkey connects Asia with Europe, and it has Black Sea on its north and it has Mediterranean Sea on its south, and the capital of Turkey is Ankara, and Ankara is situated, you can say, on little above the center of Turkey, and so it is on the, you can say, on the northern side, little on the northern side, not completely. So third is correct. So third is correct, and the question is asking which of the above pairs is or are correctly matched. So the correctly matched pair is third one, that is the correct answer is B, that is only 3. Next question. So the reference talks about recently North Korea has fired 60 rounds of artillery near Yeonpyeong Island, which has increased tension between North and South Korea. So this brings North and South Korea to the news, and the question talks about that Yeonpyeong Island and Yeongyang Island belong to which of the following countries? So difficult pronunciation, I must say. So these two islands belong to which of the following countries? So that is South Korea, North Korea, Japan or Indonesia. Let's see. Okay, this is the map of North Korea and South Korea. North Korea being in the northern side and South Korea being in the southern side, and these two countries are separated from each other by which parallel? By which line are these two countries situated? So that is the 38th parallel. So that is the 38th parallel, and if we will see, so both the countries belongs to the Asian continent, and if we will talk about the North Korea and the South Korea, so on both the countries side, that is the western side of it, they touch border with the Yellow Sea. And if we will see that the Beong Island and the Yeonpyeong Island, so both are very close to the border of North Korea and South Korea. So this is the border of North Korea and South Korea, and the island of Beong and Yeonpyeong are both lying in the Yellow Sea. They both lie in the Yellow Sea, and they are a part of South Korea. Even though they are very close to the border, but they lie in the country South Korea. So the correct answer of this question is South Korea. That is option A. Next question. Recently, aid organizations have urged international actors to take immediate action to stop famine in Sudan. This brings Sudan to the news, and the question talks about that Sudan is surrounded by which of the following countries? So Sudan is surrounded by which of the following countries? That is Egypt, Djibouti, Ethiopia or Central African Republic. So these four are the countries. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Only 1 and 2, 1, 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let's see the map of Sudan. So if we will look at the world map, then we will know that Sudan is a country which lie in the African continent. So it is an African country, and this is the location of Sudan. So it lies basically to the North Africa, and if we will zoom out on the map, this is the location that we get. So this is the map of Sudan, and Sudan shares its north border with Egypt, northwest border with Libya, western border with Chad, and southern border with South Sudan, southwestern border with Central African Republic, and southeastern border with Ethiopia, and then the eastern border with Eritrea. So it does not share its border with Djibouti, because the country Djibouti shares its border with Eritrea, Ethiopia. So it does not share its border with Sudan. And the capital of Sudan is Khartoum, and Sudan also shares its boundary with the Red Sea. So the maritime boundary is with the Red Sea. So Sudan shares its border with Egypt, yes. Ethiopia, yes. Central African Republic, yes. Djibouti, no. Let's see. Egypt, Ethiopia and Central African Republic. So Egypt, yes. Ethiopia, yes. Central African Republic, yes. So this says 1, 3 and 4. So which option is talking about 1, 3 and 4? 1, 3 and 4 is option B. So the correct answer of this question becomes option B, that is 1, 3 and 4. Let's move to the next question. Reference talks about India's recent state visit to Africa have highlighted India's growing emphasis on Africa, reflecting India's growing dominance in the global south. So this brings the topic of global south to the news, and the topic of global south has been very much in news in last, you can say, in last 3 to 4 years, and specifically with regard to the G20 meeting that took place in India. So the topic of global south came to the news. So the question talks about, consider the following statements, and there are 2 statements given, and the question is asking about the correct statement. Let's read. First statement talks about global south refers to the group of countries commonly known as developed countries. Second statement, it does not include countries with lower GDP, higher poverty rates and less developed infrastructure than the global north. So there are 2 important terms that you should know. First is global south, second is global north. So these were the 2 statements. Let's see. Okay, look at this map. This is the world map. One side, the north side, you can see the blue color, while the south side you can see the red color. So let's understand this. Okay, if we look historically, then historically if we talk about from the perspective of industrial revolution or the developed countries, so industrial revolution in developed countries were mainly the US, Britain or the European countries. So they were, because they were developed, industrialization took place in these countries much earlier, and these were considered to be the rich countries as they are the big GDPs. GDP means the gross domestic products. So they were the big GDPs. So these are the countries which are considered rich, which are considered wealthy. While on the other side, if we talk about the countries which lie to the south of these countries, so these countries were the countries where the industrialization began very late. These countries were considered to be poor countries. These were the developing and the least developed countries. So the term global south means the countries which are developing, which are least developed, which are vulnerable countries, and they are called global south because they lie to the south of the global north, and global north consists of the rich countries. That is, you can say, see, this is US, this is Canada, this is UK, this is Europe, this is Russia. So these were basically the countries where industrialization began early. They were rich countries, they were contributing to the GDP, global GDP. And while the countries which are in red, which are lying to the south of it, are the countries which are developing countries, which are least developed countries, which are vulnerable countries, which do not have very high GDP, which are considered to be poor countries. So that is why there is a differentiation between the global north and the global south. And global south consists of developing and least developed countries. It do not consist of the developed countries. So they are least developed and developing. So the global south refers to the group of countries commonly known as developed countries. So they are wrong. This is wrong. That is least developed and developing. Second, it does not include countries with lower GDP, higher poverty rates and less developed infrastructure than the global north. So it is saying that the global north countries, it does not include countries which have, it does not include countries with lower GDP. So the countries which have lower GDP than the global north, higher poverty rates than the global north, and they are less developed infrastructure than the global north, it does not include in it. While it does get included in it, because the global south, if we will see, so the countries in the global south, they have less GDP, they have more poverty, they have more unemployment, they have poor employment rate as compared to the global north. And if we will talk about the Brent line, so there is a line which was created in the 90s, and that is the Brent line, and this Brent line talks about that the more developed countries lie to the north, while the less developed countries lie to the south. So second statement also becomes wrong. So which of the following statements is or are correct? So that is only 1, only 2, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So when both are wrong, the question is asking about the correct statement. So the correct answer is option D, that is neither 1 nor 2. Next question. India's trade boom with Russia and strategic interest in Chabahar port have brought the international north-south transport corridor back into the spotlight. So this brings international north-south transport corridor to the news. The question talks about, consider the following statements regarding international north-south transport corridor. So there are two statements given, and which of the above statements is or are correct? So there are two statements. First is that the north-south transport corridor is a multimodal transportation route that connects the Pacific Ocean and the Persian Gulf to the Caspian Sea via Iran, extending to the northern Europe via St. Petersburg, Russia. So see, first of all, what is multimodal? Multimodal means that there are multiple options through which the trade can move. Like for example, it can be rail, it can be road, it can be ports, it can be sky. So that is the flights. So there are multiple transportation options. So that is correct. Then it is saying that connects the Pacific Ocean and the Persian Gulf to the Caspian Sea. Okay, let's see this much. Connects the Pacific Ocean, Persian Gulf to the Caspian Sea. So let's see. Okay, this is the map of international north-south corridor. So if we will talk about the international north-south corridor, so the international north-south corridor is meant for increasing the connectivity between Asia, Europe. So because what was happening was that from taking the goods from Asia to Europe was taking a lot of time, and specifically the North Europe. As the North Europe, or you can say that the region of the North Russia, these are the regions which basically suffers from a very, very problematic situation, and that is during the time of the winters and also summers, because the temperature in the northern region or the North Europe goes so down that the ports, that the site where ports are located, or the ocean or the seas where ports are located, so they get frozen, and because they get frozen, so the incoming of the ships becomes very difficult. That is why it was thought that a new way to connect Asia with Europe needs to be sorted, and that is why the international north-south corridor was created, and that is why it is called north-south corridor, connecting the north with the south. And this is a multimodal transport corridor, as it has multiple options of taking the goods from one place to another place, and that can be in the form of rail, roads, ports, skies. So let's see. So if we will talk about the India, so from Mumbai it goes to the Chabahar port in Iran, then it goes through the rail and the road transport, and then it passes to the Caspian Sea. Then from Caspian Sea it goes on to the Europe. So this is basically the route. And if we will talk about, so the Pacific Ocean is not included, it is the Indian Ocean. It is the Indian Ocean. So it is basically the Indian Ocean, and from the Indian Ocean it moves to Iran, and then through the Caspian Sea it moves to the Europe. So in between the Persian Gulf is also included. So it is a multimodal transportation route. This much part is correct, that connects the Pacific Ocean and the Persian Gulf to the Caspian Sea. So Pacific Ocean part is wrong. It comes Indian Ocean. It comes Indian Ocean via Iran, extending to northern Europe via St. Petersburg, Russia. So this much part is also correct. So see, there are many facts in this statement, but if you will break the statement into multiple portions, then you will find that the first portion of the statement is correct, last portion of the statement is correct, but it is only the middle portion of the statement in which only one word is incorrect, and that is where the catch lies, and that is where you have to be very alert while answering the question. So first becomes wrong, because the Pacific Ocean is not there, it is the Indian Ocean. Then second, the corridor includes road, rail routes as well as ports in the Persian Gulf and the Caspian region. So as we just discussed that yes, it is a multimodal transportation route, so the road and rail routes as well as the ports are included. Ports was Chabar, and if we move through the Iran route, then the road and the rail routes are included in it. So the question is asking which of the above statements is or are correct. So first is wrong while second is correct. So the correct answer becomes option B, that is only 2. Moving on to the next question. Reference: recently a post office with Indian pin code MH1718 has been opened in Antarctica. So in Antarctica a post office has been opened recently and the pin code has also been given. So consider the following statements. There are 3 statements and the question is asking about the correct statement. First, India's first post office in Antarctica was established in South Gangotri. Second, the post office located at Maitri and Bharti base in Antarctica is part of the Kerala Postal Division. It is asking about that from India which postal division is responsible. Third, letters sent to the post office in Antarctica are sent by the National Center for Polar and Ocean Research. So the letters which are sent, it is sent through what? Who is responsible for these letters? So let's see. So see, our new post office has been opened in Antarctica. And if we will talk about Antarctica, so South Pole also lies in Antarctica and a region which is basically surrounded with ice, glaciers and frozen snow. So this is the Southern Ocean. So it lies in the Southern Ocean. And then if we will talk about Indian bases, then India has its base which is Dakshin Gangotri, Maitri and Bharti. While Dakshin Gangotri and Maitri are on the northern side, Bharti is basically to the eastern side of it. And Dakshin Gangotri has been decommissioned. And thus Dakshin Gangotri was the first base. So this is the whole picture about. So the first post office in Antarctica was established in South Gangotri. That is absolutely correct. And then the post office located at Maitri and Bharti base in Antarctica is part of the Kerala Postal Division. This is wrong because they are part of the Goa Postal Division. They are not part of the Kerala Postal Division. And the letters sent to the post office in Antarctica are sent by the National Center for Polar and Ocean Research. Correct. And it is also in Goa. So this is also correct. This is a fact. It has nothing to do with the map, but this is a fact. And many a times that can also be asked because the other 2 were related to the map and the third one is related to the other 2. So that can also be done. So out of this, first is correct, second is wrong and third is correct. So how many are correct? 1 and 2. 2 are correct because first is wrong. So how many of the statements given above are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none. So that is option B, that is only 2. So this was the last question of today's episode, and this time there is no practice question, but you people keep on looking, keep on seeing the map, see the atlas and whatever news which is coming in the which you see in the news, you will have to go and see. Like for example, as of now the Israel and Iran news is very much in news, so go and see the maps of Israel and Iran and look at their location and the surrounding states or the surrounding countries or surrounding water bodies, because that can be asked in the examination. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.